What's good, everyone? Welcome back for another session. Now, this is a unit that received an EZA a little while ago on JP. I haven't really had a chance to, showcase the unit up until now. I think the timing is appropriate because the EZA is happening on global very soon. So with all that being said, this guy is one of those units I waited several years for an EZA and highly anticipated, one of the most units that I look forward to receiving the EZA. So now that it happened, I've had quite a bit of time to play around with the unit and what have you. I will say this before we get into the details of the skill sets. I pretty much run this unit as a support floater 99.9% of the time. It just makes sense to utilize that guy in that kind of setting, and pretty powerful unit overall. So let's just go ahead and talk about the overall unit. In this case, for this particular showcase, he's more or less the front runner. So obviously, throughout the video, you'll see this unit on the first or second slot. But keep in mind, 99% of the time, I tend to use this guy as a support floater as the third slot unit. Alright, so with the EZA, this guy will have a leader skill Super Saiyan 3 category Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense increase 170%, or Super Intelligence type, get Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense increase 120%. In terms of the super attack abilities, raises defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy, steals super attack. The passive skills Ki plus 3, attack and defense increase 100%, plus an additional attack and defense increase 100% when performing a super attack. Super type allies will get attack increase of 50%, launches an additional super attack when there's another Power Beyond Super Saiyan category ally attacking in the same turn, which I do have with the Strength Super Saiyan 2 Bardock, which falls into that category to further exploit the passive skill. In terms of links, you've got Super Saiyan that level 10, you'll have attack increase of 15%. Experienced fighters will be attack increase of 15%. Over in a flash will be Ki plus 3, attack increase of 7%. Prepare for battle will be Ki plus 2, attack and defense increase of 5%. Limit breaking form will be attack increase of 10% when performing a super attack. First awaken will give you attack increase of 25% as well as defense increase of 10%. And fierce battle will be attack increase of 20%. Quite a bit of categories for this unit as well. Super Saiyan 3, Resurrected Warriors, Pure Saiyans, Time Travelers, Goku's Family, Revenge, Crossover, Powerful Comeback, Storied Figures, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and Bond of Parent and Child. In this instance, for this showcase, I did run the, I think it was a Bond of Parent and Child slash the Future Saga with the LR Trunks and Vegeta leads. I didn't necessarily find a applicable scenario where I could run within my deck like a 200% boosted leader setting. So just FYI, I am basing this off of the 170% leads. Also, like I've mentioned already, I do have this unit linked up with the Strength type Super Saiyan 2 Bardock, who also received an EZA along with the other units. I haven't necessarily done a showcase for those guys either, so I think, honestly, I might go back into it because those 3 units, the physical, tech, and strength, all 3 of those, similar to the Super Saiyan 3 Bardock here, I've literally waited a long time for their EZAs to happen, and overall, I'm pretty happy about their overall skill sets with the EZA, so I definitely do need to cover it at some point. Now, I guess overall with this unit, I mean, this guy can literally pull off like 3 additional supers per, rotation, and I see it more common than not when that actually happens. So, this guy can, average, I'd say conservatively speaking, as a support floater on, some of the other category settings where, it includes some of the more newer units, especially with the 8th anniversary LRs or what have you. Even in a support floater spot without the best of link sets, this guy is still able to produce like 6 million attack stats for every super attack. So given that this guy can do upwards of 3 additional supers or 3 total super attacks, and majority of the time I will at least see like 2 super attacks pop off with this guy as long as you have Power Beyond Super Saiyan category on the same turn. So with all that being said, this is a very, very powerful support type unit. The only thing I will say is, you do get that additional attack and defense increase 100% after performing a super attack or when performing a super attack. So obviously, before the super attack is activated, this guy can still take some hits. But that tends to apply for a lot of units too, given that, a lot of built-in skill sets revolve around, attack and defense increase based on, performing a super attack. So I don't think that's necessarily an anomaly there, but, FYI, you will take some massive hits depending on how hard the event is pre-super attack, but once you're able to perform the super attacks, it tends to, the unit does tend to do pretty well, especially given the fact that the unit does have the ability to raise defense for one turn, so obviously if you have multiple super attacks incorporated for every turn, you could stack up that defense every rotation to kind of mitigate some of the damage there as well. So again, I think the best bet is probably go with the support floater situation for this guy, as more or less just boosting the rest of the allies on every rotation that this unit tends to fall on. But in terms of like slot 1 and 2 performance overall, like I said, 99.9% of the time I don't even use it that way. So when I was running through some of the events here, I did notice the attack stats can be quite impressive, upwards of like 10 million plus depending on the right rotations. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think personally for me, this guy is certainly more or less just a supporting float unit that also does have the damage application abilities, but also decent enough defense as well. I don't know, like from a defensive standpoint, I think, I've certainly ran this unit as a support on, for example, like Cell version of Ultimate Red Zone and stuff like that. I mean, depending on the typing of the enemy itself, and incorporating all that, from what I can remember, this unit did pretty well overall. Now, you might have had to mitigate some turns based on like item consumptions for either defensive boost or damage reduction, but I think overall speaking, this guy is definitely up to par, and I certainly quantify this guy as a very, very good support unit in the current state of Dokkan Battle. I tend to run this guy a lot. I mean, given the fact that super type allies get a boost of 50% toward attack, in addition to like all the skill sets that are built in for this unit, it does serve the appropriate purpose of a support unit that can kind of hold its own. So that's probably the best way to put it. And of course, I think it all depends on the types of category teams you're running, but this is kind of one of those like all-encompassing type supports where it does tend to fall into a lot of variations of team builds. So it's a versatile unit in terms of needing that support floater function. So that's probably the best way to describe this unit. And personally speaking, this guy is one of my favorite units over the course of the years in Dokkan Battle. So I'm certainly happy where the EZA took this unit to the next level, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of what else we expect like going forward with the EZAs. I think this is a good classic example of an Extreme Z Awakening that was implemented very, very well, and I would imagine a lot of people are having a hard time really finding complaints about this unit. So I mean, that's probably my interpretation of it, but I'm not 100% sure what the overall landscape is for the community. But I guess with that being said, certainly let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this unit. Again, I know it just came out on global, so of course global players are massively excited about it because it does change the game a little bit in terms of, again, the type of support ability or support viabilities there are for the unit in terms of like some of the team builds that you have in mind. So certainly a versatile unit, falls into a lot of team builds, good support, can hold its own weight in terms of, I would say okay from a defensive standpoint, but from an offensive standpoint, this guy's very good. So I think in summary, that's probably the best way to put it. In terms of like the Super Saiyan 3 category setup, I haven't really tested it myself to see how this unit would perform. I more or less, wanted to base the team build around some of the other Bardock units because, you do have other parameters like requiring a category ally on the same turn for power beyond Super Saiyan. So there's a lot of things to kind of factor in mind. But even when you're not necessarily thinking about that. You know, it's still an okay unit, but if you want that additional super, you know, certainly think about that. So that's probably the best way to put it. I know I kind of went a little bit on a rambling session here, but you know, I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts overall as to the unit. I think it's a very, very solid support unit, quite amazing from a functionality standpoint. So I'll leave it at that. Again, just let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it, and share your thoughts and let everybody know. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.